For social yan, yung Facebook Pixel, madaling i-integrate. And also for email, Klaviyo, MailChimp, they've already set it up so that if a Shopify business is gonna sign up from Shopify, then there's already some templates available for you to use, especially for automating email. And then for the cons, it's hard to think of cons, but this is just some for the technical side naman ng Shopify. There's still lack of Shopify apps supporting local businesses here in the Philippines. Like, for example, for automating fulfillment, if you check Shopify, the Shopify app market, there's no app for Black Arrow, for Lalamove, LBC, wala pa siyang app. So if you're a business, you'll have to do it manually. It can be time-consuming if you're dealing with 500 to 1,000 orders a day. And then another con for the Philippine businesses, there's no province or city selection yet. So I've tried to contact them already to add that to the database. So right now you cannot select if you're from Manila or from a province. And then there's no setup for multiple seller. Especially this is important for those na merong kumbaga vendors or provincial distributors. It's not actually set up for that for Shopify. Ang solution na suggestion ni Shopify is to create different Shopify accounts for different locations or areas. And then sometimes cost can be an issue, especially if you're using multiple paid apps. So there are apps that are costing $299 a month. So that can be an issue, especially here in the Philippine businesses if you're just starting up. And then code level customization can be a challenge also. But then in conclusion, I think Shopify is the best platform for starting business or a full-fledged brand. So out of the box, e-commerce functions are already comprehensive. And sabi nga kanina, there's very good support in all aspects. So you can just directly chat with them. They're always available online if you're logged into your Shopify dashboard. Madali sila kontakin. And then the main thing about Shopify is that it is entrepreneur-centric. So their business model is more on helping entrepreneurs. They hindi nila sinasabi na they're the fastest, they're the best. Basta if you check their site, it's about start your business right now. Like if wala kayong binebenta, if you know dropshipping, anybody know dropshipping, right? I think si Shopify yung nagpa-explode sa kanya online. In fact, yung first clients ko are dropshippers. So very easy siya i-set up for dropshipping. Especially right now, they also own the Oberlo app. And then, they just want you to start a business, to sell something online, sell your idea online. And they don't want you to focus on updating your WordPress website every week, every month, or trying to handle your database or server issues. So yeah, that's it. I think. Thank you, and good luck if you're starting Shopify store.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Mike. So now what we're going to do is we're going to let you guys grill these guys. So we're going to ask Erica and Richard to come back up. Don't sit down. Coming up here. And we might get, if you guys want to take a seat up here. Feel free to ask questions, any questions you have. If you don't feel comfortable, we've got a couple of our own. But does anyone have a question who wants to start us off with? We've got the brave man over here. Yes.
Question for Richard.
Sure. Do you want the mic? You can.
Question for Richard. How do you, as a small business... Sorry, not Richard. Mike. Sorry, Mike. How would a small business get around not having Philippine cities in the checkout? That's a huge barrier, surely.
Well, right now the solution that is usually done in Shopify is that they have set up multiple shipping options. Like, for example, there's a shipping option for Manila, and then if you're a provincial area, then there's a different rate, but the customer will be the one who will choose it. So yeah, it's not elegant, but it's what is being done right now for PH businesses. There are some apps, I think, that can do this, but it's not very comprehensive. That's why, yeah, the only option right now is to put multiple shipping options for province and Manila, and then yeah, let them select it. So it's gonna be reliant on the honesty of the customer. If
so
they were
someone like Boozy, they just say we only ship to Manila, and that's how they.
with Boozy, I think
Or
they.
an example that you know.
Mhm. With Boozy, I think there's actually a lot of options for them. There's 1 hour option because they can deliver it on their own within BGC within this area. And then there's also shipping option for province. So it will be dependent really on the customer.
Hi, good afternoon. With regards to the subscription fee, no, is that for unlimited pages or something? Thank you.
Who wants to answer?
The subscription, for example, if you're going to subscribe for Shopify Basic, it doesn't limit you to anything. Yes, it's not limited to anything, but there's a difference in features. For example, if you're going to for Shopify Plus, it has these gift card features, and then also it would have you would have your own Shopify manager. So if you're going to have trouble in your store, you could just hit them up, and then they would help you.
Any other questions? Good questions. Yes.
Shopify features, Shopify basics. Can we add extra features in there?
Yeah, definitely. You could customize this as much as you want, as long as you do know how to do it. But since you could build your own apps through API, the limit is it's limitless.
So for us, like if we want to create our own, so what you suggest? What do we have to do?
With
Yeah, the procedure is like we have to register as part. You mentioned about the partners program.
the partners dashboard program, it doesn't have to register. I mean, you don't have it. Doesn't select people.
Yeah.
Once you sign up, you're already in the partners program.
Yeah.
So they're not very picky. They just once you sign up, you're already in the partners program.
So you have access to the resource, so you can program the system.
You could create apps, you could create themes, you could even sell the apps and sell the themes as well, and then you could do a revenue share with Shopify.
Yes.
Or Richard, so I try to customize some themes with Shopify, the basic one, the supply theme, but with regards to the aesthetics, when I customize the aesthetic part of the Shopify, there's sometimes that the aesthetic part is not visible on my part, but I already pushed the codes itself, but nothing happens. But I already asked the community and the forum, but now no one can answer my question.
You guys got a question? The answer.
Yeah, what I usually do with code is check your sanity. I call it sanity check. So if I think your code is inside an if-else statement, so that's why it's not being run. So what you should do is check if the code is inside like the statement that we discussed before, and then do any coding to it, like for example, put out like a placeholder text. See if that placeholder text is being pushed through it, and see in the storefront if you could see it. If not, there's deeper root of the problem to it, like what I've said is inside of the if else statement. So just move your code next to the, after the else, then it would run properly. That's just a hypothetical answer to it.
Awesome, we got one at the back there. Go for a jog.
Well, I just want to, in relation to what you said now, about this problem, and he asked the people from Shopify and they cannot answer. His question is quite disturbing, based on what he said.
Your question is?
That he is asking about this problem, and some of the people in the
community cannot
cannot answer. That's quite disturbing, isn't it?
It's not actually disturbing. It's based on how would you put your question. If your question is not that clear, how could I, a developer, debug your problem? So if I cannot see the whole code, how should I give you a proper answer to it? So it's not disturbing. It's usual. It happens not just in Shopify. It happens in other e-commerce and other CMS platforms as well.
And it's important to remember Richard doesn't work for Shopify. None of us up here work for Shopify,
yeah.
So we can't answer those specific questions. We're more users who are trying to figure it out as well. So that's the whole objective, is to catch up with like-minded people. But we've got time for one more, or maybe two. We'll go two. Got one down the back. Yes, sir.
Hi guys. By the way, I have a question when it comes to targeting. But before the coding, like if you, because I'm working for Shopify, guys. So if in case you're using like a theme from Shopify, you have a 1 hour design time. So if it's something that you're gonna, for example, you try to do the coding, it didn't work. So if you are using Shopify theme, you have a paid plan, you have a 1 hour design time. Just contact Shopify, and then, well, it depends. If they can do the coding, then fine. If it's something that is out of the support, that's the reason why we ask them to contact developers. Okay. Clear? Okay, question. Kasi nahirapan ako about retargeting. Okay, so when it comes to retargeting, like of course there are cases where they go to the website, they're not buying it. So the problem is, like, how many times do you think that a particular customer, like, it's not really, I'm shaking, my hands are shaking. Like, how many times do you think that the person needs to check the product that you are selling before they buy it? You got what I mean? Like, yeah, they can really go to the website, they see the product, then they go out, and they're not buying it. So for retargeting, how many times do you think that they need to see the ads or maybe the product that we're selling?
So how many times do you badger someone with an ad before you give up and stop selling to them?
I would say that, so this, like the question is like, what would be the ideal frequency that like a person should be seeing an ad before they can actually purchase? Is that correct? Yeah, so I would say it actually depends. It's a case-by-case basis. Like, there are things that a person can actually purchase very easily, like a pair of socks. Like, it's not a very expensive thing. So it can actually be, like, is your question like how many times do they need to see it on the website, or how many times do they need to see the remarketing ad?
The remarketing ads. For example, they go to the website, you do your ads, and then, for instance, there are cases wherein if someone visits your website, you can do retargeting, right? Like people who never buy, but they were able to go to the website.
Yep.
So, like, how many times do I need to run an ad for that guy to, hey, just buy the product?
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, it's the same. I would say it's always different with every product. But say, for example, you're selling a pair of socks. Based on what I've worked with, like the conversion rate usually for like a one-time remarketing ad would be like to 60 to 70%. Like from there. So I would say like if this person has been shown like the same remarketing ad twice in a month, it should be good. But it depends on the product again, I would say. Because like, say for example, you are buying a car and you are selling cars online. You wouldn't necessarily have expect like someone to actually buy from seeing like an ad once or twice after they have shown after it was shown to them, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Does that answer your question actually? Yeah. Okay.
All right, one last question. Oh, you're all good? All right, I've got one question for you guys, deep philosophical question. Do you guys, and I'll get an answer from each of you, honestly, do you foresee Shopify becoming a bigger part of the local e-commerce landscape in the Philippines? And how can someone, I guess, prepare for that? I'll go with you first, because you're next to me.
Okay. I would say yes, not because this is a Shopify meetup, but I actually believe in the product. Mainly because it's good from the marketing perspective, it's good because it actually sells the products. So if people if more people, and it makes sense for businesses actually. I would say it would play a bigger part in the future because it's a platform that actually makes sense and it helps the businesses actually sells their products. So how can people prepare for that? I would say like the 5 tips I've given earlier. Start by mapping your customer journey and then do the rest after that. Customize your messaging. Like any other platform can do that, but I believe in Shopify because of how easy it is to use compared to other platforms. So yeah.
If you're an upcoming developer and then you want something to get into, if you're going for WordPress, I'm sorry, but WordPress is long gone. Go for Shopify. I'm so sorry. Yeah. WooCommerce, I've done WooCommerce websites, like hundreds of them. It's not that simple as Shopify. Shopify just hit 100 million US last month annual income. So if they're making 100 million US per year, they must be doing something right.
Yeah, I think for local Philippine businesses, it's already being used here. Just like some of the companies I've shown earlier, and there's still a lot more that are using Shopify right now. And I can't tell you how many messages I get from Filipino entrepreneurs who are wanting help with their Shopify store, but there's just not enough developers who are doing locally here in the Philippines. That's why I think it's a really big opportunity right now for developers and also for the entrepreneurs as well. Since right now Shopify is also supporting smaller countries like Philippines by lowering the cost of the monthly subscription here. Yeah.
Cool, awesome. Well, we'll call that a wrap. Let's give our speakers an awesome round of applause for the hard work today. Really greatly appreciated. You're free to go now. Thank you very much. So thanks everyone for joining us. And before everyone goes, I just wanted to give a quick plug to a couple of people who've helped us quite a bit. So andzen, you may not have heard before, but they are a kind of global agency that specializes in email marketing. We've actually got a couple of representatives here today, if they can put up their hands. They're at the back hiding. So if you have a Shopify store or you're about to get into Shopify, they're probably a good brand to remember. So they'll help you with that part of that marketing journey where, you know, if you come to the website, they have or they haven't bought and you want to keep badgering them, like we were talking about before, but via email. So that's what these guys do and they're really good at. A big thanks to emapta as well, because they actually provided this space for free. So yeah, a round of applause actually. And a big thanks to Martha and everyone in the emapta team. They basically set this all up for us. So we just came in and it was magically here. So amazing work on their part. And last but not least, a shameless plug for the company I work for, which is called Filta Global. So we have a little office just there and another one just down the hall as well. We work with Australian companies, helping them, mostly agencies, to get Shopify developers. So there's an ulterior motive here. So if you are a developer and you are looking for a change of career or something like that, we're kind of a good option as well. So things that we've got there, we've got things like HMO from day one, that kind of stuff as well as this beautiful space that you get to come to work to in every day. And we'll also have a gym soon, so that's going to be a gym. So if you like the gym, this is the job for you. So if you are interested, Danny in the yellow shirt just over there, she's our recruiter. So feel free to go visit Danny at some point, and she'll grab your details and